guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pika and I do fragrance reviews. So welcome back, ladies and gents. Welcome to tonight's special. Tonight we're doing a collab to do with summer nights, what to wear on a summer night. It doesn't necessarily mean a date night. It can be pretty much anything. I mean, I think we all kind of have our own things that we like to do in the summer when it's humid, when it's sticky, when it's beautiful. I love me a good summer night, and these are fragrances that aren't necessarily super sexy or anything. They're just quite literally perfect for a summer evening or a summer night, whether that's hanging out with your girlfriends, whether that's hanging out with your guy friends, whether that is just going by yourself. I know people who like to just eat alone or even go to a spa, hotel, resort on their own. So this is for everyone, you know, and we have everything from designer to niche, and of course it's a collab with my friend Giselle here on YouTube. And if you guys don't know, which I don't know why you don't know who Giselle is, but if you don't know already, Giselle's channel is GB Fragrances, cue the beautiful animation thing, and we really have a beautiful bond. We have very similar taste, and I really look up to in terms of perfume taste. Her perfume collection is just insane. So we thought of doing something a little bit more versatile, a little bit more broader in terms of tastes, in terms of occasions. So let's just jump right in. So as always, I like to go from the most expensive, the least expensive to the most expensive. I can't really remember all of the prices on the top of my head, you guys, but I am going to try my best to categorize them in terms of price and graduate it with price. So the first one that I have is one that I think most of you guys will recognize, and this is Cinema by YSL. This is probably one of my most favorite designer fragrances of all time. This one is definitely more of an older release. I think it was released probably somewhere in the 2000s. I can't really remember. And the whole premise behind this presentation, behind the juice itself, is to replicate old Hollywood. Now, whether they do that or not in this fragrance is kind of up to you guys, but for me personally, I think it's a really elegant and beautiful fragrance, perfect for a summer night, and I'll tell you why. Because it has a really beautiful warmth to it. So in the top, I'm just going to spray it. Oh, so in the top, it definitely has a really big burst of clementine. And I think in the summer, you do definitely need some type of fruity or fresh opening, and then to go down maybe into a more vanillic, sweeter base. And this is exactly what it does. So in the top, you have clementine, you have some peonies, you have some florals, and then it goes down into a very warm vanillic base. Very sweet as well from that clementine, and a little bit tart as well. This is just stunning. And with the humidity and with the stickiness from a summer night, I think this would be a really gorgeous fragrance. So that is Cinema by YSL. The next fragrance that I have is one that I repeat so many times that you guys will probably just want to click off now, but please, I promise you, it's just because I really love the fragrance. When I love something so much, I just want to show everybody the specific fragrances that I really love. There's no point in me showing you guys a fragrance that I like or even I'm okay with. This is a love for me, and that is Jasmine Rouge by Tom Ford. I've loved this fragrance since the very day that I smelt this baby, and I get emotional every time I look at it because I absolutely love it. This on a summer night, and I've already tested this on a summer night, is so beautiful because it does have a little bit of a tropical vibe. It does have a mixture of course, a really creamy, strong jasmine sambac. I think it's a night blooming jasmine in particular. that they've included within this fragrance. And the type of jasmine that they included in this fragrance, from as far as I remember, is one of the only types of jasmines at that time that had been used in a fragrance. So this one is very, very special. It has ylang, it has some type of spice. I believe there's cinnamon in here. So it is slightly spicy, but not in a how to say, in a, I don't know, like a spice market type of way, and neither in a gourmand way either. It's just perfectly balanced with the jasmine, with florals, and there's some woods in here as well. It really is a beautiful, tropical, divine fragrance. So that is Jasmine Rouge by Tom Ford. The next fragrance that I have is certainly a fragrance that I have, again, an emotional attachment with, because as soon as I smelt this fragrance, it was one of the first Ormonde Jaynes that I really fell deeply in love with, and this fragrance really set me down. It released me into the Ormonde Jayne rabbit hole, which is a rabbit hole that is quite deep and goes far down. So this is Taif from Ormonde Jayne. This is a very beautiful, very, very beautiful rose fragrance. The rose is of course Taif rose, which comes from a very specific region. I can't ever remember the country. Is it Iran? I'll put the country name here. And the way Taif smells like, it's much pinker of a rose, and it's much more sweeter and delicate compared to, for example, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, damask rose. There's loads of different types of roses that are out there, and this one is certainly more so on the sweeter, more delicate, elegant side. And then alongside this you have mandarin orange, you have what I think is some peony in here. I can smell some peony. It really is a very beautiful, fruity, floral, sweet fragrance. But because of the sweetness and because of the freshness from the Taif and from the fruits in here, and the pink pepper as well, you kind of get this really beautiful floral sweet concoction, which off your skin with the humidity can really radiate. And guys seem to really love this fragrance, I tell you right now. I don't know why, but they seem to love it. So that is Taif from Ormonde Jayne. The next fragrance that I have might come as a little bit of a shock, because it is definitely more of a stronger, deeper fragrance. But I think personally, with a bit of heat, this would be phenomenal. This would be out of this world, and that is Amouage Portrayal Woman. Out of all of the Amouages there are, I mean, just look at the bottle. I mean, wow. It really is very gorgeous, and what I very much appreciate is that to me, it's the little things in life, you guys. It's the little things, and this is such a beautiful fragrance. Now, I think that this is probably my favorite out of all of the Amouages. I don't know why, I just think it's incredibly addictive, and I think personally it would do amazingly well for maybe if you're going to a rooftop bar. This is more so if you really want to impress people. Now with the humidity, the jasmine in here alongside the elemi, which is a type of resin, I think would work insanely well. This is a very sweet fragrance with a lot of vanilla that anchors it, but overall it's a very creamy, white floral, sticky, sweet fragrance. I don't see any other notes apart from jasmine in terms of the floral side, but for me personally, what I think they've done is added a little bit of tuberose, and it kind of gives this like really creamy gardenia feel. I just love this thing so much. It does list tobacco, but on my skin, I personally don't get tobacco at all. Usually I'm a fan of tobacco, but I think it would be almost a bit too heavy if it was very much on the tobacco side for summer. But this one is just really, really beautiful, you guys. And as I said, that sweetness that's anchoring this fragrance, I think in the humidity would just take it to a whole different level. So that is Portrayal by Amouage. The next fragrance that I have is one that was actually recently introduced to me by Giselle, and I'm very, very thankful that she introduced me to this fragrance because she knows my taste incredibly well, and she knows that I love a fragrance called Mayrit, which I'll show you guys very shortly, and this one is definitely more so on the fruity, musky side. It is called Dahab by Kajal. Now this bottle is extremely heavy, and you know, I didn't realize how sharp the lid is, so you do have to be careful when you're grabbing it. That's one thing that I would say is to watch out, because I already kind of injured my fingers just from grabbing the lid because it is so heavy. It's a very heavy metal lid. So this is an incredible passion fruit scent. Now I do kind of get some other fruits in here. I almost detect peach as well, but not the vintage type of peach, more of a juicy, sweeter peach. I also get quite a sourness just at the top, and that's mostly down to the passion fruit, and then settles into a very musky base, but not how do I describe this? But not in the type of musk that you guys are used to. It's not an animalic musk. It's a very clean musk that you get. It's very fluffy. It's very, and it elevates the fragrance. It really projects very well. The longevity is out of this world. But I think the passion fruit itself is so delicious and so realistic that this on a summer night, because it is slightly tart, but with the sweetness that's anchoring it alongside that beautiful clean musk, this would make you still feel clean whilst smelling very syrupy and delicious, if that makes sense. So that is Dahab by Kajal. So the next fragrance that I have is probably, I would say, a solid in my top 10 to 5 out of all of my collection. I don't know why I love this thing so much. This to me is honestly really, addictive, and that is Mayrit by Loewe. This is a very beautiful fragrance. This has grapefruit, passion fruit, and then settles down into a very strong orange blossom, jasmine and amber base. For me, the orange blossom is the most prominent alongside the passion fruit. The passion fruit in here is just beautiful. It gives the fragrance a bit of tartness, and then the jasmine almost acts like a pillow, if you see what I mean, and the amber as well. It kind of cocoons all of these tart notes into making it a little bit more sweet, a little bit more delicate. I just love this thing so much, and it's really refreshing whilst being very syrupy sweet. A little bit soapy as well. So this I think would do amazingly well in humidity, in summer nights. This is just perfect. This is perfect, I think, for maybe a beach night if you're going to the beach, because it is refreshing, whereas it's also syrupy and quite clean at the same time. A little bit similar to Dahab. So if you've not tried this one, guys, please try it. It's Mayrit from Loewe. Alright, so we're in the last two. We're down to the last two. Gosh, my English is just terrible today. And I know that this isn't necessarily a fresh fragrance, but I'll explain why I think this would be amazing on a summer night. So this is Cartier's Oud and Santal. I did a very dedicated video to this because I think it really needed its own video. It's that good. And in the video I explained that I do think it includes real Mysore sandalwood, I hope, and real oud, because it's so smooth. It's so resinous and medicinal without it being heavy. This I wouldn't necessarily say is a heavy scent, which I know sounds bizarre, but trust me you guys, this is not a heavy, super beast mode scent at all. This is very much a little bit more closer to the skin. It opens up with a little bit of a plumminess, a little bit of a fruitiness, and then goes into a chestnut shell kind of sandalwood. It's quite nutty and soft and sweet alongside this medicinal resinous oud, and I think this with humidity, wow, this is just next level, and I can't wait to try this in the summer, and I don't think it would be cloying at all. It's so beautiful and so delicately made that I don't think that this would be cloying in the slightest. So that is Oud and Santal from Cartier. So last but certainly not least is definitely my most expensive fragrance in my collection, and I did get the second hand, so I didn't buy it for the full retail price, but I think this is one of the best Rojas in my opinion, and that is Enigma Oud. This is so pretty. It really is a very elegant fragrance. It has peach in the top, then goes into a very powdery orris, and it's kind of anchored by this oud and woody base. It definitely does have some florals in here. I believe there's some white florals in particular, and this I think would be very stunning on a summer night because of the very slight medicinal oud in the background. So the peach itself gives it a little bit of a freshness, a little bit of a sweetness, and also it has a bit of a vintage vibe. Then goes into this powderiness, then goes into the resinous, very slightly oudy base. And I think that combination of the fresh floral opening alongside the powdery woody resinous base is perfect for a summer night, especially if you really want to impress somebody. I think that this creates a really beautiful scent bubble around you as well. So if you don't want to be super loud but you still want to smell very elegant, very much put together, I mean the bottle itself is just wow. But the bottle isn't super important for me. What matters to me is the inside. It's the inside that matters, you know, and this fragrance really does deliver. So that is Enigma Oud by Roja. So my loves, that is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I always enjoy myself, especially when I'm collabing or I'm doing something a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more unique, you know, and I think these fragrances are super versatile. I hope that I gave you guys a really nice selection. Please, if you've not checked out Giselle's video, I don't know what you're doing, click down in my description bar because I have all of the details there. So I hope that you guys have a lovely rest of the weekend. Please like and subscribe, all of that jazz, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.